Ladies and gents, or shall I say good day guys, since this is a major kill video. The 5 most terrifying Loyalist Space Marine chapters, Warhammer 40k. Okay, I didn't even read that Loyalist part, but apparently this is about Loyalist. I was gonna say Night Lords, I just thought of that as soon as I read the title, but they are not Loyalist. So who are the Loyalists that could be really terrifying? I mean, I know there are many sub chapters, but I only know of the original 18. Not 20, original 18. And even then, I don't know all of them. I can't remember all that shit. But yeah, I think Blood Angels, right? They have that rage element to it, right? Because Sanguinis died. Sanguinis died with, with the hands of Horus on the ship with the battle in Horus Heresy. That made them, driven them mad. Every Space Marine that is. So they have this rage element to them. That could be terrifying. I don't know. Only terrifying word because of the Bricky video is Night Lords. They are the only one that comes to my mind because they were so awesome how they're portrayed, Gotham type cities that they live in, whatever that environment is. But those are not Loyalists. So I guess there are Blood Angels. I'm pretty sure there's going to be many because of the sub chapters that it broken apart to, right? There are many chapters now. So yeah, there's going to be many chapters. I guess sub chapters of Blood Angels might be in this one. I don't know. But it's going to be fun. Remember, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe. So I know which type of videos to react to more. I love Warhammer, as you probably know already. I upload more Warhammer video than any other video, I guess. Especially recently with the Total War videos and also the latest 10th update that came, which is fucking awesome. Lion is back. So yeah, wait a minute. Dark Angel is going to be the part of it. I don't know. There might be. I won't say that. I mean, they're powerful. I won't say they're terrifying. Terrifying has to be some element of boo, that type of thing, right? Something about them that just terrifies you because they're so fucked up. I don't know. So let's watch this one.
G'day guys and gal. Horror is a big theme in Warhammer 40k. After all, they have demons, parasitic space bugs, Night Lords, and Dark Elder. Just to name a few of the more unsavory entities that can fuel.
Yeah, but after watching that Rubik's Raptor videos and how in that Armor 3 mods, this lightning and storm type of element happens before any chaos creatures and Space Marine comes. I always imagine that, right? Whenever the chaos enters, that kind of a Durably's Undertaker style of entrance.
Your nightmares. But something unique about 40k is that the Loyalist Space Marine chapters, the good guys, can be just as terrifying, if not more so, as the forces of hell. Loyalists that eat human flesh, kidnap and rape loyal Imperial citizens, build effigies out of skulls and bones, and just cause an all-round ruckus. Everything I just mentioned is canon examples of stuff Loyalist chapters have done and do. Very scary Loyalist chapters. Before we get started, did you know that I have a merch store with some pretty cool stuff on it? A 20-pack of dice, which works a treat for any wargamer, a big-ass high-quality desk pad that gives me a chuckle whenever I lift my keyboard, stickers, magnets, a protein shaker, and most excitingly of all, a stubby holder. If I can neck this beer in one go, you guys have to buy some merch. Oh, it's so cold. The things I do for money. We also have like 3 white Cordian caps left, which make you look pretty jacked apparently. I look great there, but only because of the hat. My recommendation would be to buy the One of Everything bundle because you get a massive discount. I personally worked with the designers for each piece of this puzzle and we just restocked, so there should be enough for anyone who wants to join in on the fun. I won't be releasing any more merch until we hit 500,000 subs a few months from now, so this is it until then. Link is below. Today we'll go over 5 of the scariest Loyalist Space Marine chapters, detailing why they're scary beyond just how they look. Let's get into it. When you think of the Ultramarines, you probably imagine exquisite sci-fi Roman architecture, common sense, and a strict code of honor. You probably don't imagine a bunch of Death Guard-looking motherfuckers that build effigies out of corpses, celebrate death, wear the bones of their enemies, and use fucking power scythes in combat. But here we are. The Mortificators chapter are a successor chapter of the Ultramarines, and they aren't just like some rogue cousin that has run off. They always answer the call of their parent chapter, and were even one of the successor chapters that came to Guilliman's aid upon his resurrection and helped him get to Terra. But how did the Mortificators go from a classic Ultramarine
Imagine Gilliman comes back with this stick up his ass attitude, right? All the like he's a Roman style, honor and shit like that. he just sees these things, wearing skulls, whatever their name is. They're like, we answer to you. They're like, who the fuck are you? Yeah, we are your people.
Successor to these horrifying, reckless battle monsters that eat the corpses of the fallen.
What the fuck?
When they went off from the Ultramarines, they were led to a planet via psychic means. The planet was a savage world full of cannibals and death, actually quite suitable as a Space Marine recruitment world. However, they were so savage that even when the Mortificators recruited them, they maintained a lot of their brutal culture. After a few centuries of recruitment, where the cannibal recruits outnumbered the original members, the chapter was like, fuck it, and went full spooky mode. As a part of their recruitment process, a neophyte must kill an enemy warrior, then cleanse the flesh off their head and wear their skull as a mask. Until they do this, they are unworthy to join the chapter. They will often drink the blood and eat the flesh of their enemies, creating effigies out of different body parts to celebrate death and their victory. This does sound very heretical and begs the question, why haven't the Inquisition stepped in? Well, it's because the Mortificators are so damn reliable and loyal. Their culture is pretty fucked, but their combat record is near flawless, and their dedication to the Imperium is unquestionable. They're so reliable that even Uriel Ventress of the Ultramarines is
in the end Imperium, right? They're like, okay, that's heretical. Unless it benefits us greatly, then it's not. That's what they are.
Mates with their chapter master, at least before the chapter master died. But yeah, with their Death Guard vibe, cannibalistic nature, defiling of enemy corpses, and their obsession with death, the Mortificators are scary boys. The Iron Hands are one of the least played, loved or fleshed out legions, so it's no surprise that their successor chapters are barely mentioned. However, there are exceptions. The Red Talons being an especially terrifying one. When the legions were divided, it wasn't random. Space Marines who fitted the role of a new chapter were put within it. For example, all the most zealous and hardcore Imperial Fists were to become Black Templars. The Iron Hands were already a bunch of hardcore murder machines, suffering PTSD and a lot of rage over the death of their Primarch. But the Red Talons took this a step further by being made up of the most unstable, vicious, and low-key crazy Iron Hands. They existed purely to get vengeance against the traitors, and would do so with extreme ruthlessness. For example, during the Horus Heresy, which was when the Red Talons were unofficially founded from one of the surviving Iron Hands groups that escaped Isfahan, they encountered a world that was under the control of Horus, but like, not really, just kind of subjugated with a small garrison. The Red Talons didn't give a fuck though. They invaded the world, bombed the shit out of the cities, massacred the armies, and as the citizens came out to celebrate their liberators, the Red Talons planted nukes all over the world then left, allowing it to be consumed by a nuclear holocaust. When they became an official chapter, they were the High Lords of Terror's solution to any traitor problem, knowing that the—
Yeah, we need to emphasize that these are loyalist Space Marine, not good Space Marine. There is no such thing, because that clearly proves it. Yeah, look at this is our liberator. What are you doing there? It's, oh fuck me, they're putting nukes here. Everybody just runs.
Red Talons were to execute their orders with extreme prejudice. They were one of the 5 Pentarchy of Blood, chapters that were deemed so vicious and ruthless that they were sent to wipe out 11 traitor chapters with relative ease. That's right, they were able to wipe out double their number. Now they might not sound that scary, but you gotta remember how twisted the Iron Hands are to begin with. Self-loathing cyborgs that have removed concepts of mercy or pity from their very being. The Red Talons were the psychotic version of these psychos, who would happily kill 1 billion babies in nuclear fire to destroy 10 heretics. If the Red Talons are sent to your world, then I hope you're getting the fuck off it. I've spoken about these guys a few times, but nothing really says terror like the Death Specters. I mean, their name is already pretty spooky, but that is actually—
I feel like there are certain loyalist Space Marine, I don't know if Ultramarine fits this scenario or not, but who basically, I'm not going to say they're good guys, but who basically has certain code and honor, and there are people like this, that there's a Red Talons or whatever, who are too fucked up, who would kill an entire population on a planet just to kill 10 people. So, what if there's a scenario where these two forces come together, same loyalist forces, but clearly one is going to be, just like disgusted with the other, with how they operate. So wouldn't they come to blows? Like, it doesn't matter which side you are on, there is a limit. Right? Because everybody had their own limit, like what they can allow, even in the name of Imperium. So wouldn't they come to blow because how fucked up one side is and the other is not, not fucked up compared to this Warhammer universe? I don't know.
The least scary part about them. See, there exists a region of space called the Ghoul Stars, a place where the dark energies of an alternate realm have leaked into real space, tainting it and cursing everything within it. The scariest part is that this alternate realm probably isn't the warp, it's something more terrifying. The only Necrons in the Ghoul Stars are a realm of flayers. The Tyranid fleet that flew through it went insane and became twisted. It's just not a great place. The Death Specters are the chosen guardians of the Ghoul Stars, the first line of defense if the eldritch Lovecraftian horrors of the alternate dimension ever break through. As befitting a spooky chapter, these guys also use power scythes in combat, but eldritch horrors, Ghoul Stars, power scythes, these are just entrees to the real terror of the Specters. Since their homeworld is barely populated, because, you know, Ghoul Stars ain't the holiday destination of
these people are supposed to protect Ghoul Stars. I've read about Ghoul Stars. I mean, just saying that alone just paints a picture in my life how fucked up these people must be. This is really terrifying chapter.
Choice. They will fly out to nearby populated Imperial worlds, kidnap a number of young women or girls, then bring them to a world closer to the Death Specters. There, the women are then raped by the chapter serfs, impregnated, and then their offspring is then attempted to become more Death Specters. The women are raped over and over, forcing to give births as many times as possible until their fertility collapses. Such is the necessary of the Death Specters' vigil that they are allowed to continue this practice. To make them even spookier, a genetic mutation in their original Raven Guard gene seed means that they have glowing red eyes and are extremely pale. Pretty sure whoever came up with these guys just went as hard as possible on the edgy side. A fan favorite now, we have the Flesh Tearers, easily the most hardcore and vicious of all the Blood Angels, and that is saying something. The Flesh Tearers are the only Space Marine chapter.
I said in the start of the video, Blood Angels must be one of them, but no, there is a proper version of Blood Angels that are even more fucked up.
Who the Orcs don't want to fight and have actually retreated from without firing a shot. This is because of how single-mindedly vicious these guys are.
Orcs are, we love to fight, we love anyone, and just looks at them, nope, and just walks away.
In combat, their Berserker Frenzy is enough to make a World Eater look calm, and they often kill just as many allies as enemies, since once they begin fighting, they often lose control and cannot identify friend from foe. It's no wonder that the Flesh Tearers were another of the 5 Pentarchy of Blood, alongside the Red Talons. They were just really fucking good at killing. I want you to imagine that you were a guardsman fighting some orcs. Shit's tough. Terry ate a bullet to the face, and the orc line is only a few dozen meters from reaching you and fucking shit up. Then suddenly, Space Marine drop pods. Hell yeah. They land amongst the orcs as Crimson Warriors come out with revving chainswords. They begin cutting into the orcs, turning the tide of the battle. You feel relief, but then something is off. They aren't just killing the orcs, they are ripping them apart with not just their chainswords, but also their claws and teeth. There is no nobility or honor in this carnage. The battlefield becomes a charnel house as these angels of death kill every single orc. It's horrifying, but you've won, right? Suddenly, one of these Astartes turns to look at you, right in the eye. You look back and you can only see madness and hunger. Suddenly, the Crimson Warriors charge at you and your mates. You only have time to say, holy fuck, before your face is ripped off and your body bisected. This actually happened in the lore. And finally, saving the best to last, we have the
God, that picture was so fucked up because, you know, after, like I said, Armor 3 mod, right? I'm just imagining like there's war happening, battle happening, intense war, and suddenly Space Marine pods drop, like it's a Crimson War. Just seeing that, you know, teardrop type of blood image, like holy shit. And then after, you know, them going berserk, orcs actually running away because they don't want to fight them. Just that sight is so fucked up. You know, I just love how the different range of it, like one type of Space Marine comes, it changes, you know, tide of war. Of someone other type of Space Marine comes, enemy actually runs away. I mean, look at the difference between two.
Carcharodons, the Space Sharks. It's believed that these guys' gene seed is a mix between Raven Guard and Night Lords, a combination that isn't very good for the skin apparently, but amazing for scaring the shit out of people, murdering your enemy, and growing extremely large. After all, Tybros, the Space Sharks chapter master, is the largest Astartes to ever live. Most Loyalist Astartes are defenders, conquerors, liberators, saviors. Only the space sharks are predators. They travel for thousands of years at a time at the farthest reaches of Imperial space, acting as a silent predator, intercepting threats before the Imperium even knows about them. Many in the Imperium don't even know they exist and are always shocked when they pop up and offer their services, only being legitimate due to the ancient identifier codes they provide still being valid. Once again, the space sharks are one of the 5 Pentarchy of blood.
There is a mythical chapter, you got to be fucking kidding me. Mythical chapter which has this kind of a terrifying properties. They are this kind of large being, they are part Night Lord or whatever. This is horrifying. I mean, how much worse than the spaceman, how much difference there is, man. The spectrum of spaceman in difference is ridiculous. Imagine something like that popping up. Look at how it looks compared to other ones. Like, what the fuck is that?
Who slaughtered the 11 traitor chapters. I feel like the Imperium was like, who are the most fucking ridiculously terrifying and vicious chapters, and then sent them over for the slaughter. Due to their unstable gene seed, not only is their recruitment very difficult and their skin kind of fucked, with Tybros being especially ugly, but they can gain the Chill of the Void, a multi-stage curse that alters their personality, first by making them cold and antisocial, then by forcing them to lose the concept of mercy completely, before finally they can no longer work in a squad, choosing to become a lone space marine that acts as a scout or assassin. Although they don't seem like it, they are incredibly stealthy since they are Raven Guard and probably also Night Lord. Tybros was considered to be so massive that when he was looked upon by a tech priest, they thought he was a statue. I mean, the dude uses what is most likely Corvus Corax's siege lightning claws. To recruit, they perform the Red Tithe. Basically, they descend upon an imperial world and kidnap a lot of people. These people then become serfs, slaves, or if they are suitable, aspirants for the chapter. If you somehow needed any more convincing, there was a battle between the Night Lords and their demon allies versus the Space Sharks on a prison world, so a perfect environment for the Night Lords' combat style. The Space Sharks systematically hunted down and slaughtered the Night Lords, establishing themselves as the true apex predators. Any chapter that can beat the Night Lords at their own game is a chapter that is pretty fucking terrifying. Yeah. If you enjoyed the video and you want to
my god, imagine. Doesn't matter which chapter, doesn't matter how powerful Primarch and even chapter you are. If this thing comes towards you, you know like, oh fuck me, this is a problem. Oh, even their name, even their whole properties. Damn. Man, I love this video, this was so good. The 5 most terrifying Loyalist Space Marine chapter, the channel Major Kill. Alright, well, if you like my next one, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.